San Marcos is a wonderful and unique community that has a wealth of natural beauty and deeply rooted cultural significance, whether that means tubing down the San Marcos River, enjoying sights and sounds, watching the Summerfest fireworks, or eating a taco at the St. John's Fiesta. We have a thriving business community and established academic institutions helping to incubate the next generation of great leaders and innovators. A great example is the Texas State STEM program. The city is growing and changing, and we continue to preserve the treasures of the past along with our hometown identity and appeal. We've endured our share of tragedy and faced adversity, but those experiences have brought us together and made us a stronger and a more resilient community. And we've also enjoyed many successes in the past year. Our community is adapting to growth, while elected officials and city staff work to proactively plan for the future. As we set our sights on the road ahead, the City Council has laid out 5 strategic initiatives to guide our efforts, including workforce housing, community partnerships, public transit, stormwater management, and city facilities. San Marcos is blessed with extremely talented and creative staff, working in conjunction with our highly engaged citizens and our dedicated elected officials to achieve the goals for our future. If we set out with a truly collaborative spirit, I'm confident that we will achieve these strategic initiatives together, building a community that offers prosperity and opportunity for all of our residents. I am proud to be in San Marcos, and I'm excited for our bright future and shared success.
Welcome everybody, and I want to thank the City of San Marcos communication staff for putting together that beautiful video. Let's give them a quick round of applause. And Jason, thank you for that kind introduction. I'm thrilled to be here with all of you this afternoon, and I especially want to say happy opening day. Today is opening day for Major League Baseball. If you wondered why my prop was here, so I always get so excited for this day because today every team's in first place, and I really like that. And you know, the other thing is I was doing some research into my favorite team's chances of winning the World Series this year. And you know, after I Googled it, I was so stoked to find out that the Philadelphia Phillies had an 80% chance of winning it all. And well, wait a minute, they're motioning to me that actually, that may be not accurate. That number, it turns out the lowest number is the highest chance of winning. So what team would that be? Oh, that's right, the world champion Houston Astros. Of course. And that's, of course, my favorite American League team. But as long as it's not this team, we're okay. Okay, so happy opening day to all the Major League Baseball fans, and we can start with the program now. And I just want to start by saying, wow, what a great crowd we have gathered today, and what an amazing year we've had in San Marcos. You know, as a 26-year resident of this great city and Central Texas treasure, I'm still in awe of the resiliency and the creativity and the entrepreneurial spirit of the citizens of our city. And I'm always amazed at the never-ending beauty of the crystal clear San Marcos River and our pristine green spaces, and really all the abundant opportunities that seem to come our way in this community. So, as your mayor, I am proud to say that the state of our city is very strong. Thank you. And that San Marcos remains a vibrant and growing city with a hometown feel that appeals to people of all ages, young professionals, growing families, students, and active adults. As our population continues to grow, we continue to see our downtown thrive. We see new homes being built, and businesses are choosing San Marcos as their home. Texas State University has become one of the largest public institutions in the state, and our staff, over 700 strong, continue to provide exceptional service to meet the ever-increasing needs of our growing community. Now, because of our unique attributes and location, San Marcos represents the true heart of the Texas corridor. And we are blessed to have vital partners working with us to make San Marcos a stronger, more economically diverse community and hometown where people can achieve their dreams, build a business, raise a family, and live a full and active life. So now, I would like to recognize and thank the voice of our area's business community, the San Marcos Chamber of Commerce. Thank you to the Board of Directors, its executive leadership, its extensive membership among our local businesses, and in particular, Jason Mock, President and CEO, and Vice President Samantha Brown. Thank you for organizing yet another successful event this year. Let's give the Chamber and their team a round of applause. And as was mentioned, a big thanks and recognition for my fellow elected officials who are here with us today or here in spirit. They are my allies and partners in making San Marcos successful, and they work tirelessly, I can assure you, for the community that they love. As was mentioned, Mayor Pro Tem Lisa Pruitt, Deputy Mayor Pro Tem Scott Gregson, Council Members Saul Gonzalez, Jane Hewson, Ed McHalkinen, and Melissa Derrick. Please recognize them with a round of applause as well. Now, one of our greatest achievements this past year was the hiring of our permanent city manager, Mr. Bert Lumbreras. Notice I use the word permanent. Mr. Lumbreras brings almost 36 years of experience in city management, including 10 years as an assistant city manager in our northern suburb, Austin. He and his wife, Elvia, moved to San Marcos in August, and already he has proven to be an unwavering asset to both our community and our city's organization. Bert is a Texas State alum, well, Southwest Texas State University alum anyways, and the city's CEO. Bert is committed to having a highly effective and highly efficient organization. Bert's commitment to our community and city staff is crucial to our success. His first-year priorities are based on 3 foundational elements, which include listening and learning, building relationships, and strong leadership. San Marcos is very lucky to have you, Bert. Please join me in welcoming and recognizing our new city manager, Mr. Bert Lumbreras. Now, the reports of our tremendous growth in this city are not exaggerated. According to the U.S. Census, the population of San Marcos had reached nearly 62,000 in 2017, and that's a 40% increase in only 6 years. At the current rate of anticipated growth, we project the population will eclipse 85,000 sometime in the next decade. Hays County is expected to grow almost 70% to about 310,000 residents during that time. So what does this mean for San Marcos? It means that we can't afford to bury our heads in the sand or try to wish away this real-world growth scenario. We must prepare for growth by focusing our energy, our creativity, our planning, and economic resources on this vision and this reality. With this growth, we must remain vigilant in our efforts to keep the unique character and charm of our city intact and to protect the natural beauty we all love. So to achieve this, our council has adopted 5 strategic initiatives to guide and focus our city staff's efforts over the near term. With increased population, we are well aware that people are moving here and seeking a good job. One challenge our community has is the growing need for affordable housing and diverse housing options. Since 2015, we have added more than 1,000 new single-family homes in local housing developments. But in San Marcos, the median home price is just over $151,000, and the median family income is just under $46,000. So given our current stock of existing homes and newly constructed housing, the option of home ownership is out of reach for many of our citizens. This includes many of our teachers and our service workers. So we must do better. Therefore, our first council initiative is to develop a plan to concentrate on achieving workforce housing development within our community. Since 2012, the city has accomplished notable affordable housing outcomes through our Community Development Block Grant Program by allocating over $1.1 million to rehabilitate 56 homes. And we continue to partner with Habitat for Humanity, which just greatly expanded its operations here in San Marcos, and we're thrilled to have Habitat for Humanity here. But we know that this is not enough. We must find ways to provide truly affordable options for the many other working families, young parents, professionals, and single adults who want to own their own home. Our new council workforce housing initiative will consider affordable housing strategies like land banking, community land trusts, alternative funding solutions, zoning strategies, and professional partnerships to achieve this goal. But we know that raising salaries and creating new opportunities is the best way to expand our housing affordability in this city. These options, along with the passage of our new land development code, Code SMTX, fingers crossed, will help us achieve meaningful housing ownership opportunities for a larger portion of our citizens and their families. So this effort is not unrealistic. We'll gain valuable insight and success from successful programs in cities in Texas and across the country. Now, because of the influx of population that we've been talking about along the I-35 corridor, mobility and transit options continue to be a major challenge. As a result, public transit is our second strategic initiative. Our team is working to establish the city as a direct recipient for federal and state transportation funding to enhance our mobility and transit options. In addition, we will continue to evaluate the benefits and challenges of regional transit partnerships. Later this year, the council will look to adopt an updated transportation master plan, which will guide our street and road network development for the next 30 years. This new master plan will be imperative to the success of our overall community transportation grid, public improvement cross-sections, and implementation of our Complete Streets Ordinance. This plan is critical to provide for and establish future roadways to keep us moving while facing the inevitable prospects of continued growth. Now, Texas is a land of big trucks, SUVs, and auto independence. So often we don't even give a second thought about catching one of our environmentally friendly CARTS buses equipped with Wi-Fi and air conditioning to travel downtown or to run an errand. So we understand that this is no small task. But it's time that we offer viable alternative methods of transportation, such as an expanded bus route system that matches population centers with employment centers and shopping opportunities. And just recently, we issued a joint request for proposal with Texas State University for car and bike share programs that are convenient, accessible, and other meaningful transportation options. So looking forward into the near future, we are also seeing communities in our country utilizing driverless shuttles and delivery vehicles utilizing technology that removes human error and reduces accidents by 80%. Automated vehicles, or AV, will likely be part of the future in San Marcos. Improved safety and the reduced need for parking spaces are just a few of the benefits. But we need to begin now to prepare our city and our state and not be left behind in this transportation revolution. Our third council initiative is city facilities. Addressing long-needed maintenance and expansion and planning for current and future growth. You know, anyone who's ever visited one of our city buildings or our over 40-year city hall knows that we're out of parking and workspace. City Hall is seeing noticeable signs of wear and age. We've run out of workspace so much that we've resulted in multiple staff working in the same room. Some staff members have even been relegated to repurposed closets. So it's imperative that we investigate and create plans for a new City Hall complex. Partnering with the private sector may provide an opportunity to satisfy this need while limiting public debt. In 2017, the city purchased 20 acres of land on Clovis Barker to build a public facilities maintenance facility. So this location will allow us to relocate all our back-of-the-house operations, fleet maintenance, all that stuff, away from the very public City Hall complex. And the next phase of our plans will be to design needed facilities that will accommodate operations for at least the next quarter century for a city with an anticipated population growth of some 110,000 residents. And I can't talk about facilities without recognizing the successful $32 million bond election overwhelmingly passed by over 75% of our city citizens in 2017. And I want to thank the Chamber for all the effort and all the advocacy that you had with that. These bond funds will allow the city to increase the size of the San Marcos Public Library by up to 29,000 square feet, renovate the existing facility, expand the parking lot, and add a drive-through bus loop. Public safety will be positively impacted by these funds, which will allow the city to add a new fire station in the Trace subdivision. I know they're here today. Replace and relocate an existing fire station that's currently housed in a 63-year-old structure, and add a live fire training facility out by our airport. It will also provide renovations to our 23-year-old police department building to address security enhancements and expand our 911 emergency call center. Excuse me. Now, a lifelong struggle in our city has been flooding, and that's why our fourth council initiative focuses on stormwater management. And I can tell you, at some point last night, I thought we were going to have a lot more to talk about with stormwater management. When it rains, it pours in this city, we all know that. So the goal of this initiative is to create a community that is resilient to regional and localized flooding events, and to improve the management of stormwater runoff to reduce or eliminate the negative impact of sudden heavy rains. Last year, the City Council directed that our 5-year investment for stormwater management be doubled from $33 to $66 million. So this City Council is intently focused and united on the impact of chronic flooding in our community, on our families, their property, and our local businesses. So for future development, the Council has already adopted new, higher standards as well as other requirements intended to reduce the risk of flood damage to our homes and our businesses in this city. Because of these higher standards within our community, the Texas Floodplain Management Association recently awarded the City of San Marcos the 2018 City Floodplain Management Excellence Award. And I know a lot of our engineering team is in the room. Let's give them a round of applause for accomplishing what the council really set out as one of their main goals. You know, through our federal lobbying efforts, along with the promise to make San Marcos more resilient to flooding in the future, we've successfully convinced our federal officials to grant the city $34 million in HUD disaster recovery funds. And in total, the city has received over $76 million due to our ongoing efforts with our federal and state elected officials and governmental agencies over the past 8 years. So with this funding, I'm pleased to report that in 2017, the city rolled out a housing program with a substantial portion of these funds going to help the many families in San Marcos who experienced damage in the 2015 floods and who will now be able to renovate their homes and strengthen their neighborhoods. Most of our disaster recovery grant funds have been earmarked to complete 5 infrastructure projects approved by the council to mitigate flooding in the most susceptible neighborhoods. These are massive stormwater infrastructure projects, and they are now currently underway. Thank you, Lori Moyer, for getting that done for us. So our engineering teams expect the outcomes of these improvements to reduce future flooding from all past storms except the 2015 Memorial Day flood, which was truly a historic event. Finally, our 5th strategic initiative is to coordinate and expand our community partnerships with Texas State University, Hays County, the San Marcos Independent School District, led by our great superintendent, Michael Cardona. Michael has been a true partner to our city, and most importantly, I'm proud to call him a friend. And this collaboration will provide the regional resources and leadership necessary to identify opportunities and establish goals for our mutual benefit. Now, this past year, I introduced 2 initiatives that are extremely dependent upon these partnerships, and I'm going to talk to everybody a little bit more about these. One is an innovation district. It's proposed for our downtown as a partnership between the city, the school district, Texas State, and the Greater San Marcos Partnership and the community. This is designed to bring creative and economically meaningful jobs opportunities to our city. The second is a climate action plan designed to reduce greenhouse gas emissions from the largest entities in our city and impacts through benchmarks and expansion of existing programs focused on improving our environment, air quality, and ensuring that we build a more sustainable city. Now, I want to talk a little bit about job growth. Vital job growth in San Marcos remained positive in 2017 as public and private jobs increased by over 4.5%. This equated to just over 1,700 new jobs in San Marcos in just this last year alone, and I think that deserves a round of applause. Our city has also experienced phenomenal growth in sales tax revenue over the last 6 years. Over the last 6 years, our total annual sales tax revenue collected by the city increased by 40%. And most of that, or a lot of that, can be attributed to the outlet malls, obviously, but also our new businesses, our vibrant downtown, construction of the Amazon Distribution Center, and the Best Buy Call Center, which went online in October 2017. Now let me talk about the Best Buy Call Center. It's a first of its kind in Texas, and it's the sole Best Buy e-commerce sales operation in the state. And it's on track to generate up to $1.5 million per year in sales tax revenues for San Marcos, in addition to employing scores of local residents. Now, this partnership with Best Buy represents a truly beneficial example of economic development at work in our city. This company located itself in a historically low-performing shopping center and is now the single highest sales tax producing address in the city of San Marcos. Amazon.com represents over 3,600 full-time jobs, including 860 military veterans today and the potential for many more in the future. In fact, during the holiday months, the company employed over 6,500 employees around the clock. These are exciting things happening as well at the San Marcos Airport. In 2017, Coast Flight Training Center opened operations. Their Rotary Transition program focuses on training military helicopter pilots who are transitioning to careers as civilian pilots. To date, over 300 have received an offer of employment from American Airlines, making Coast Flight the largest single supplier of pilots to that airline. This number is expected to nearly triple over the next 3 years. And we are proud to play a role in these veterans' transition to civilian employment. But that's not the end of the airport's success story. As of October 2017, for the first time in the airport's history, the airport is operating in the black, meaning it's self-sufficient and no longer being supplemented through the general fund. Thank goodness. These successes highlight the increasing value of the San Marcos Airport as a catalyst for the region's economic development. And when it comes to the San Marcos Airport's future, even the sky is not the limit. These huge wins for the city wouldn't be possible without the assistance and hard work of the Greater San Marcos Partnership, led by Adriana Cruz, her staff, and her board of directors. Since 2010, GSMP and the city have made 21 announcements in San Marcos, representing over 4,700 new jobs and nearly $300 million in capital revenue. San Marcos now has over 37,000 permanent job positions, and almost 9,000 people from outside our city come to work each day in the city of San Marcos. This exemplifies their innovation, persistence, and expertise in expanding economic opportunities for San Marcos and the greater San Marcos region. Let's give Adriana and her team a round of applause. Thank you, Adriana. Recently, San Marcos competed for the strongest town in the U.S. contest. And one of the application questions asked, why San Marcos? Tell us what's so special about your town. So here's what I would tell them. I would tell them that San Marcos was named one of the 8 American cities you should visit before they become too popular. When you have a community where people want to visit, you have a community where people want to live. We have 2,300 hotel rooms in our city and 350 more in the pipeline, and I am happy to report that visitors generated over $3.8 million in hotel occupancy tax in 2017. I would tell them that San Marcos was recently named one of the best places to retire, proving that, believe it or not, retirees and college students probably have more in common than some would like to admit. I would tell them that the heart and soul of our community flows through the middle of our town at a constant 72 degrees and is truly one of a kind. And just 2 weeks ago, we had over 1,000 volunteers remove over 31,000 pounds of trash and 10,000 pounds of recycled materials from the river, its banks, and the creeks that flow into it. I would tell them that our finance and budget performance is rock solid and that the city's total sales tax collection for the first 3 months of 2018 is up more than 22.5% from 1 year ago to $8.3 million. I would tell them that in San Marcos, a dull wall space is transformed into life, energy, and culture through our mural arts program that has funded over 30 murals, reduced tagging, and given an opportunity on large and small canvases to display creative, expressive art from our youth and talented artists. I would tell them that San Marcos was named one of the best U.S. small cities to travel to in 2018, and that our vibrant downtown comprises over 300 small businesses, and in San Marcos, we believe there is nothing bigger than small business. I would tell them that we are dedicated to preserving neighborhood integrity and honoring our vision, San Marcos Comprehensive Plan, as we move through the final phase of a 4-year community effort to adopt a new land development code, Code SMTX. I would tell them that you could stay outside all day and enjoy the natural and historic beauty of over 2,000 acres of green space and parkland, and with a 25-mile-long trail system, all within our city limits. I would tell them that providing safe daily travel and multimodal routes for our residents is being accomplished through our street overlay program that resurfaces 22 lane miles of roads each year and installs 2 miles of sidewalks each and every year. And I would tell them that as our city continues to grow, we will not waver in our efforts to maintain our existing infrastructure. And in 2017, the city invested over $70 million for these needed projects. I would tell them that we are San Marcos strong, and we have a community that wholeheartedly supports our police, fire, and emergency responders. As a community, we suffered a great loss this past year. Officer Ken Copeland, one of our own, was struck down while on duty, showing us just how dangerous keeping us safe can be. This year, more than ever, we acknowledge and respect the sacrifices of our first responders make to keep each of us and our families safe. Ken, I know you're up there watching. You will never be forgotten. And I would tell them that we are a city on the move, and the only thing that can derail us is intolerance. Make no doubt about it. Intolerance to working together, or new ideas, or people who were born elsewhere or look different will undermine our progress. I challenge everyone in this room and those listening at home to always remember that we exist among each other because of our similarities, but it is our differences that truly make us strong. And I would tell them that what remains special and unique, but also constant, is the passion of our community, the commitment of our friends and neighbors, our highly dedicated business owners, extremely talented artists and musicians, and vibrant university students. And of course, our dedicated city staff to preserve the unique culture, natural beauty, and hometown feel of our ever-evolving city. And I would tell them that another successful year has come and gone. But I assure you, if 2017 is any indication of what's to come, our future in San Marcos is very bright. And it is my sincere hope that you leave here today feeling as energized as I am about what 2018 and beyond has in store for our city in San Marcos. Thank you all for attending this event, and may God continue to bless the city of San Marcos.